I never in my life thought I was gonna make something like this. But I feel like I have to. I have to like it's not I'm forced to do it. It's just that I want to do it just because in my opinion it's one of the best things I've seen in such a long time. Now let me tell you this. A lot of people have how do you say critique shows, cartoons, reality shows, whatever. They critique at the stuff they watch, whether they like it or not. And once they do, they leave a review for the creators. What they can improve, what they don't like about, all that type of stuff. Alright? Now, here's the thing. I do critique, I will say that. I will say I do critique some shows. There's some shows I don't like, some shows I do like, some cartoons I don't like, and there's some that I do like. It's whatever, alright? It's whatever. However, I feel like I gotta share this with everyone. Just because it deserves more credit, to be honest. This show just deserves it a lot. It's not a show, a cartoon that caught my interest. And I still remember the day I first watched it. I still remember. It was it was when the cartoon came out in the cartoon came out in October 1st of 2021. And I still remember the day. I watched it during December, if I remember. It was during the winter season. I was minding my own business, scrolling around Netflix, all that type of stuff. I was on my phone too, like everyone else does the same thing. Well, I noticed one clip of this cartoon, and I was confused. I was like, okay, it's just another cartoon. Who cares, you know? Like, cause at that point when you grow older, it like for you, cartoon ain't nothing. Like sometimes you can rewatch something from your childhood, and then some of the new things that come out, you're like, it's not the same. There's like no spark, there's no energy, there's no creativity, all that type of stuff. And it's true. There's just some cartoons or shows where the creators do not try, or they do try. It's just that they get negative feedback. They don't all that type of stuff. However, the however, like I was saying, I was scrolling through Instagram. A clip popped up. I was like, okay, so why should this affect me? I watched the clip. All right, so it was kind. I was like, okay, that's it. Like people are actually liking this. And the more just because I watched that one clip on Instagram, the more times I refreshed the page, the more clips popped up. So I was annoyed. I went on Disney Plus. My plan that day was to watch The Simpsons because they recently added that during that time. If I remember, they recently added The Simpsons on Disney Plus, and I was planning to watch it. However, on the top of the app, pop popped the cartoon that I watched, and that cartoon was called The Ghost and Molly Mcgee. And I was like, should I watch it? I click on it just to be curious. I didn't even read the details. I didn't read what it was about. I just clicked on it, looked at the thumbnail, looked at the episode. As far as I know, there was only 5 episodes. And it was season 1. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing nothing. I might as well watch it, give it a shot. Because I haven't watched a decent cartoon in so long. Let's see what's so great about this one. I watched the first one. I'm going to be honest. At first, I was like, okay, it's okay. It's not. It's, I had like, how do you say, mixed emotion? Not emotions, but like the way I was critiquing it right away. I was like, this thing sucks. Like, how do people watch this, right? First episode. And then the second one pops up where the character goes to school. And I already hated one character just because the way she acted. I was like, oh, I don't like her already. But it's whatever. Second episode pops up, right? And it was the character was going on a camping trip and trying to find a new best friend. And I predicted right away, never never watched it in my life. First time watching it, I predicted who was this character going to choose. I predicted right away, and I got it right. I was actually surprised. The other episode shows, third episode comes, I'm like, I can see why people like it. Fourth episode, I was into it. Fifth, I was like, oh yes, dude, it's perfect, dude. Color, animation, storytelling, perfect, bro. Now, if you not know what it is, what the cartoon is, I'm basically gonna tell you just a little summary. So, as far as I know, did a lot of, well, not a lot of research. I just rewatched all the episodes. I am so tired, but it's worth it, dude. Here's the thing. So, the Ghost and Molly Mcgee is about a grumpy ghost named Scratch that is internally cursed to be in the presence of Molly Mcgee, a cheerful twin. And as far as I know, what Molly's purpose for her is to make a world a better place. And in her mind, that's her job, to make a world a better place. While Scratch, he has to make the world a worse place so that he can get misery levels up in his hometown. The McGee's moved to Brighton. Now we don't know where it is, but I guess I kind of, how you say, puzzled everything together just to see where they could live. They moved a lot. The McGee's moved a lot, so they don't stay in one place. They have moved around everywhere. And the more I looked at it, the more I was like, so where do they live? As far as I know, and this is my final how you say, my final conclusion to it. I think the McGee's live in Michigan. The only reason I say this is the more I look into the map on the first episode, the more I'm like, okay, that makes sense because we get a few glances of like maps per episode. Well, there's some e- episodes where the maps are shown, but I predicted that they probably live in Michigan. Just the way the weather is, and yeah, just basically the location, just the weather, the time, all that type of stuff. Where it like how it changes, all that. But either way, I got a little sidetracked. I'm so sorry. The McGee's moved to Brighton, small town in Brighton. They move into a house. Molly was the first one to go in. Find out there was a ghost in there named Scratch. He makes a curse to scare her away, but turns out Molly isn't scared. She's just happy that quote unquote she found a new best friend right away just because he cursed her with him, right? And after a how you say after a rocky introduction with Scratch and the McGee's, Molly and Scratch form just basically a friendship, dude. Like technically, they form a friendship that that affects Scratch's misery levels because the chairman or the in the ghost world there are chairmans and there and not I said that wrong. There are ghost counselors and a chairman. The ghost counselors are in charge basically how you say yeah, just basically checking up on every ghost, see like if they're doing their jobs or not. If they're not, then they'll get sent to the flow of failed phantoms, which is horrible for the afterlife. I'll tell you that right now. It's horrible. If you're not doing your job, you get sent there, and you can never escape ever, bro. Hmm. That's pretty much it for the plot. The plot just basically scratched the ghost, cursed himself with Molly, who is super cheerful, always happy. And every time when she says the ghost's name, Scratches gets intent. He gets pulled right at her, meaning that he's forced to go everywhere, everywhere with her. And to be honest, it's a pretty good cartoon. It's honestly one of my favorites right now. I'm not even joking. It's like one of the best things I ever seen in so long. The episodes are good. The storytelling's good. Honestly, the way season one ended, I thought that was it. I thought there was nothing else they could do. There's over if you count them right, there's over 20 episodes. But if they were all separated, there's 40 episodes in total. Because each episode you get two mini ones, basically, it's like 10 to 11 minutes per per episode. So technically, there's around 40. And let me tell you something: voice actors, beautiful, but beautiful voice act. Swear, like the only reason I actually started watching it was because of Dan Snyder. I think that's the only because I grew up watching a show called Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and he was one of the voice actors for a character that I liked so much, so hilarious, and to think that I could hear him again in a cartoon, that is crazy to think if you really think about it. Like, oh, bro, it brings back memories. Just hearing them like just talk basically just makes me think of the other shows or the other like just basically his work. Just all his work he has done is awesome. Now for the voice actor for Molly McGee, perfect. All right. First, I thought it was just a kid because usually they usually sometimes the creators will hire kids to voice the children in the cartoon. But Ashley Birch, perfect, just perfect. She got that energy. She is committed to the role. And I never said about the family. Okay, let me tell you about the family. The McGees. You got Molly McGee, you got Daryl McGee, you got Pete McGee, and then you got Sharon McGee. So she has a brother, obviously parents. The dad, perfect dude. Jordan Kepler, voice dude. I don't know why I always laugh when he screams, bro. Like the scream is so perfect. The mother is perfect. You got the grandma who is also voiced by the mother, same voice actor. Perfect, dude. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like I'm not good at critiquing stuff, but just the characters pretty plain. Not, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like how Disney did it. I'm gonna tell you this right now. The I do like how Disney went for something that was never been created. In my opinion, I never seen no other cartoon made like that. That involved a ghost and and a child. I never seen something like that. I never seen it. I could be wrong. There could be cartoons that actually made those, but in my opinion, I never seen one. And if there was, never caught my attention. But this one did caught my attention. Like something new. Like finally something like new. Basically, yeah. What I'm trying to say, just something new. I'm so sorry. I am tired. I'm not good at critiquing stuff, but storytelling, animation, the just the artwork. Honestly, the art style. I don't know why. I just like that art style. How the art style they chose for the Ghost and Molly Mcgee. I actually like it. I don't know what. I don't know why I like. I just like it. Fits. It just fits. Well, I will say this for the like not downfall, but like something negative is that I feel, in my opinion, obviously this is my opinion. I wish they made the episodes a little more longer, just because as I watched it over and over again, I felt like there was not enough detail in each story. Like it felt like everything was rushed. You know what? I mean, probably that's the only thing they could think of, but I just feel like they could have done something more. Like it felt rushed, the episodes. Not rushed, like they took the time to do it, but I'm saying like they could have like they could have like put more like just more story in it. Because the more I look at it, the more I rewatch it, I just come to think to myself, I'm like, they could have added this, they could have explained this more, all that type of stuff. They could have done that, but hey, I'm not the I'm not the creator. I can't say that he did. They both did their best work. I'll tell you that right now. Both did their best work. And I just honestly, I just want to say thank you for those creators. I want to say, yeah, I just want to say thank you to both of them to make it an awesome show. Also, cartoon creators Bill Bill Ma Motts and Bob Roth. They're both of the creators of Ghost and Molly Mcgee. Season 2 is coming on April 1st, which I am super excited about. Look, dude, I have not been this excited in so long, but it feels great because honestly, it just makes me feel like I'm a child again. Cause back then, cartoons were made in a bunch, and how do you say? And they were just good back then. Right now, in my opinion, there's like nothing good to watch. There was nothing good to watch. And just seeing this makes me feel like a child again because I'm actually excited to watch something. And then like, yeah, it's just super exciting just to see something you like have a second season. But as far as I know, I want to say that the show will last around maybe 3 or 5 season tops. I have to see it for myself for season 2. If they can continue this, it is perfect. I'm telling you, Disney has created a good cartoon. I just hate the fact they only air it on the weekends. If they look, they have something good. If they can air it every day, you're gonna get everyone's attention. I'm telling, they have something good. They got something good. They can air it every day, and it could attract more people to watching it. I'm just saying, storytelling, the characters, animation, the art style, the plot makes sense. It just fits. It fits. It just fits. Other characters I would like to mention is her best friend, Libby Stein Torres. It's a Latina, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure she is a Latina and she is Jewish. Now, that is for me actually shocking just because in my whole life I never heard of I never heard of yeah, just basically like a just basically a Jewish Latina. I never heard of that, but there are a few Latinos, Mexicans, Guatemalans, Spanish, all those types of people that are Jewish. I never knew that. Like the show actually teaches you a lot too about friendship, working together, all that type of stuff. It's good to watch with if you have kids. It's something you should let them watch because it's pretty good. And then you got a rich girl named Andrea Davenport. And as far as I don't know if they did this intentionally or not, but obviously she's rich because you always gotta have that one rich kid. Cause you always gotta have like one rich kid during just basically just showing everyone the difference in it, like every person. Everyone's different, as far as I know. And yeah, like I don't know what else to say. I had everything planned out, but I don't know. I'm just blanking out at this moment. I'm just blanking out at this moment. I had everything planned out. I knew what I was gonna say, and I'm doing a horrible job. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not very good. Other characters. Uh, I think that's pretty much it for the main roster. There's no one else except for Jeff the Ghost, which is Scratch's best friend. And it's pretty good. Not pretty good. It's actually funny to think about it because Scratch is a grumpy ghost, and he doesn't want to have any best friends. Like in the first episode, he was annoyed with Molly, always taking him everywhere. He was always annoyed with her, and just when she was finding a new best friend, he just says, "I don't have a best friend. Why are you making it such a big deal? No one needs a best friend." And then Jeff just pops up. For me, that was funny, just because just because he just proved her Molly's point that everyone needs a best friend. And I feel like you do, but not really. It just depends on you. I mean, I have a best friend. I've been friends with my boy since kindergarten, and that's very long. And a lot of people do not, as far I know this not from experience, but from other people's experience. A lot of people stop talking to their friends that they grew up with each other, and some of them just get stabbed in the back, all that type of stuff. Yeah, but I'm grateful to have a best friend since kindergarten, and we still talk. We play, we talk. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope, but hey, as far as I know, I'm excited for season two, and the theme of season one. Just to summarize, the theme was the theme was obviously the new friendship. They're trying to Molly and Scratch trying to get, or yeah, Molly and Scratch hanging out every time. She's taking him to different places, getting to know everyone, know the history of everything. Scratch introducing her to new ghosts. Well, not introducing her, but other ghosts see her as like not. They won't freak out. Basically, like she's like the only person that won't freak out. So obviously they introduced each other to her. And here's a funny thing. At the damn, hold on, I'm trying to think. um, oh, I just had it. I'm so sorry. I'm telling you, this is my first time actually critiquing something. I never. I'll usually keep this to myself, but I just had to give credit to everyone who put the work into it, into the show, all that, or into the cartoon. They deserve a lot more credit. The cartoon deserves more how you say more attention basically. But for season one, just basically just basically introducing themselves, summarize getting to know each other basically, what are their pros and cons. And what I do like as when you start watching it more and more is at first you think Molly's like, oh, she's like a perfect kid that never gets mad. But like as the cartoon shows later on, you see her get more frustrated. Like you see her like her personality because at first you just see her super happy. That's all you see her. You just see her super happy. She's happy to be there, all that type of stuff. But then the personality just shows in, and it's like it's I don't know. It's just For me, it's actually a good way to introduce somebody or introduce a character. But okay, let me just finish. Let me just finish this because because I'm not good at this. So just to summarize one more time, to actually summarize everything. Season one was about them getting to know each other. The ghost counselor and the chairman were realizing that the misery of Brighton was going up. There's a meter that shows, and I in a few episodes it shows how the meter is going up the arrow. So if it's all the way red, that means there's a lot of misery, which is good for Scratch because if he doesn't keep that up, goes to the flow of fail phantoms. And once it hits green, fully green, then you get sent off because you're not doing your job right. At the very last, I will say this, there is gonna be a spoiler. At the very last episode of Molly McGee for season one, Scratch is taken from a from another ghost who is a joy hunter, and what the joy hunter's job is to hunt joy, basically the people who's bringing happiness around the human world. The human world, and basically terminate them. Just get rid of them, and that's it. They'll be set. Everything will be set for life, for the afterlife. And at the very end of the episode, or the last episode, Molly gets her best friend Libby to try to go to the ghost world, get her best friend back. Basically, Jeff is the one that helps her. At first, he refuses because he no human can go into the ghost world. But as Molly tries to go through the ghost portal, doesn't work out for her. She turns into a wraith, which is what the show describes. It's a person that gives up in life. The body is alive, but there's no one in it, basically. There's no one in it. So you can actually see how she would look like dead, basically. It was pretty cool because all the other ghosts are like dark color. They're dark color. They're like purple, blue, or green. Yeah, purple, blue, or green, and pink sometimes. You never seen like other ghosts super bright. And if you just see the episode, Molly's the only one who's super bright. She's yellow, which just filled with joy. Pretty much, she's still alive, but it's just that she just became a wraith. And at the end of the episode, she goes save Scratch, obviously, but kills the chairman. So there's no more chairman for the ghost world. And that's pretty much it. She just goes back to the human world, brings him back, and the episode ends. That's why I thought there was not going to be any more episodes, just because the way the season finale ended. I was so confused. I'm like, there's no way they're gonna bring this back because just the way it ended perfectly. It just ended perfectly. I didn't think there was not gonna be no more until they announced season two. Now, before wrapping this up, I do want to talk about a little bit of season two because of the way I see it. The way I see it, she falls in love. She has a crush. So for me, it's hilarious. I don't know why. I just find it funny that she has a crush. It's hilarious for me. And there's a new family. And as far as I know, for season two, the whole plot is going to be about this family. They're ghost hunters. The ghost hunters. And just the way I've seen the photos, I don't think Scratch is going to be living with the McGees. Just because the ghost hunters are like their neighbors. They live across the street, so as far as I know, Molly's gonna make Scratch live with Libby, her best friend. But I could be wrong, I could be wrong. I'm just guessing. It hasn't aired yet, so I can't be too sure about it. But that for me, that's what it looks like. It looks like Scratch is not gonna live with the McGee's no more, and he's gonna spend time with Libby more. So man, it's pretty much it. Just the whole plot for season two is basically the ghost hunters finding ghosts, and obviously no one else can see ghosts except for Molly, Libby, the McGee's, and pretty much it. Just people who've seen ghosts can't see them, invisible, basically. It's a pretty good concept to be honest. Because at first I was confused why no one else can see Scratch when he turns invisible, but you can see it, but Molly can see him perfectly. And then it took me so long to figure out, like, oh, it's because she probably has seen him, right? And ever since, ever since she can see him, like, visible, and it just makes sense for some reason. I feel like that makes sense. It makes sense that that's the only reason why she's able to see him in the first place, because she obviously got cursed with him, and when you're cursed with someone, obviously you're somehow able to see. But there's more episodes, but I won't get into detail in it for season two. That's pretty much it. Just the whole plot is just ghost hunters. That's pretty much it. Season one was just about Chairman and the misery levels for Brighton, and then you got second season, which is just ghost hunters. That's pretty much it. It's pretty. I mean, yeah, it makes sense, but I can't say nothing. I need to watch it first before actually, how you say, before actually judging the show or judging season two. But I'm actually excited for it. I cannot wait, to be honest. It's gonna be. I don't know. I don't know. It's just so exciting. Makes me feel like a kid again, waiting to see their favorite cartoon with a new episode. It's just amazing. The show is amazing. The cartoon is amazing. I keep saying show, but it's a cartoon. But it's just it's such a good cartoon. Best one I ever seen in my life, to be honest. I don't think there's ever once it's once they announce their final season, I don't think there's ever gonna be a cartoon that can top that off ever again, to be honest, because it's so perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. The storytelling is good, animation is good. I'm gonna keep saying it. Animation is good, voice acting is good, everything. But no one, there's never going to be another show. That's the thing. There's never going to be another one like that ever again. And you just gotta You just gotta enjoy it pretty much. What I'm trying to say, you just gotta enjoy it because these it's just two people who just pitched the idea. Hey, let's make this show about a ghost being friends with a tween, and it worked. It worked. To be honest, it fit. It works. Talks about like talks about just basically life, how we should live every day, how to handle everything, all that stuff. Before I do end this, there is one episode I do want to talk about in season one, and it was when this for me this episode hit hard just because I never thought Disney would ever make something like it. And it for me it was dark. This was like a dark episode, but I could see why they made it in the first place because there's a lot of kids that actually go through this. So this episode was about when the McGees lose their house. And that's pretty dark for a kid for like a children's for a children's cartoon to be a that's pretty dark if you really think about it. But it was it was good. The way they set it up, the way they described it, perfect, perfect. Because a lot of cartoons or shows were never if they're making a kids for kids to watch, they will never they will never like makes something dark for kids that will traumatize them. But Disney went for it and it worked. A lot of people liked it to be honest. And as I even read some of the reviews that they were grateful that Disney made something like this because it cannot be ignored when because a bunch of kids go homeless, right? Like their families can't afford the rent or pay off the payments, all that type of stuff. They they just a lot of creators just ignore it, and these creators said, "Let's just do it, just to show everyone how it feels to live in the actual world. Show teach children that everything's not always gonna be happy or easy in life." And I really enjoyed that episode. I really do because obviously it was dark. It was dark, and it was something that everyone can relate to. It was something that everyone can relate to, and it cannot be ignored. A lot of kids go through that, and yeah, it's it's just it surprised me. I'm gonna say that right now. It literally shocked me that the fact they really made an episode like that. I was like, no way, they actually gonna show this to children, and they did it. Got good reviews, and yeah, a lot of people were happy about the episode. No one was mad. No one was offended. Because this generation, for some reason, everyone gets super offended. But no one was offended. Everything went perfectly. In my opinion, went perfectly. Detail the story was perfectly told. How it started, how it ended, and it lasted for 2 episodes. Like, but in that same episode, because each episode has two episodes together, so like 10 minutes, all that type of stuff. But that one was perfect. It described everything, the struggle. It was all happy at first, and then out of nowhere, boom! You see the real estate agent just putting for sale on the house, and you could just see Molly's how you say personality change. She went from joyful to all depressed. That's what I liked about it. That's what I do like about it. because it shows that not everything can be put in a positive side. You got to face the facts that we're living in the real world, and nothing's gonna be ever that easy. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I have nothing else to say other than season two's coming out. I am not sponsored, but it doesn't matter. I'm just I'm just excited about season two coming up, and this is once again one of my favorite cartoons of all time right now. It really is, and nothing can ever change that opinion. SpongeBob will always be everyone's favorite, but this one got to be in my top three, to be honest. I feel like you guys should give it a try. Just watch it. It's pretty good. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. Everyone can enjoy it. And what's good about it, in my opinion, you can rewatch it over and over again, and then still feel like new. It's not like every other thing. Like it's like, oh, you already know what's gonna happen. This one you can rewatch it over and over again and never get bored of it. And you can watch it with your friends if you want. But I don't know. You can just show it to anyone. But I feel like you guys should give it a try. One last time, it's called The Ghost and Molly Mcgee. It's on Disney Plus. Season 2 airs on April 1st on a Saturday. So yeah, that is my opinion on the show. On the cartoon, I don't think I did a good job on describing it, but it's whatever. It's my opinion. It's my first time doing it because I don't usually do these. As you may know, I do gaming videos and that's all I do. But that's it. That is it. It's just so perfect. I'm so sorry. I keep talking. It's perfect. That is it. I give this rating a 10 out of 10, to be honest. It's also, I forgot to mention, it's a musical. So there are songs an episode. There are one or two at a time. I think there's only like one or two episodes where there's no music. There's no song to it. But yeah, it's a musical. If you're into musical, obviously you're gonna like it. I'm not into musicals, but I liked it, to be honest. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Yeah, bye. I forgot to say this, but I just want to thank the creators for making this and the voice actors voicing the characters. It's perfect. Everything's perfect. Dan Snyder as the ghost, Ashley Birch as Molly McGee, the main character. Thank you guys for making me feel like a child. Yeah, God, that's awesome. It's yeah. I'm just ending it.